All right, welcome to this explainer. We are diving straight into the fascinating geography, the incredibly deep historical roots, and honestly, the totally unexplained phenomena of Omkareshwar. We're pulling facts directly from historical and site records to look at a place that perfectly blends natural wonders with ancient human traditions. And as you'll see, it holds mysteries that literally continue to perplex modern observers today.
Here is the roadmap for what we're covering in this explainer. First, the sacred symbol island. Second, origins of the Jyotirlinga. Third, history, rulers, and ruins. Fourth, the holy parikrama path. Fifth, miracles and unsolved mysteries. And finally, visiting and filming rules. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Sacred Symbol Island, Nature's Masterpiece. To really wrap our heads around the history, we first have to ground ourselves in the actual geography of this place.
The sheer physical reality of Omkareshwar is absolutely mind-blowing. It is an island naturally shaped exactly like the sacred Hindi symbol Om. This isn't man-made landscaping, it was formed completely naturally by the convergence of the Narmada and Kaveri rivers. You've got this dramatic sandstone outcrop with steep rock faces, plunging ravines, and these massive, towering domed shrines known as shikaras rising right out of the stone.
To put that on a map for you, we're talking exactly 77 kilometers south of Indore in Madhya Pradesh. And the geography here is super distinct. The southern and eastern sides shoot up like sheer cliffs, creating a massive gorge right over the river water, while the northern side slopes down way more gently. It's this spectacular natural fortress that has naturally drawn thousands of people to its shores every single day for centuries. Section 2. Origins of the Jyotirlinga, the mythological foundation. So before we get into exploring the physical ruins, we have to ask, why did this specific river convergence become such a massive spiritual epicenter?
Well, it all comes down to the concept of the Jyotirlinga. If you're unfamiliar, a Jyotirlinga is a supreme, radiant, devotional representation of the Hindu god Shiva. The mythological bedrock here comes from the ancient Shiva Purana. The story goes that the Vindhya mountain was incredibly jealous of the boastful Mount Meru. So to become greater, Vindhya performed intense, severe penance. Shiva was so pleased by this devotion that he appeared, and at the request of the gods, he actually split his radiant lingam into two parts. One part became Omkareshwar on the island, and the other became Mamaleshwar on the southern bank. But here is the key. Together, they make up just one single unified Jyotirlinga out of the 12 that exist in the world.
And the devotion here, it's been constant, but it's evolved beautifully over the centuries. Back in the 8th century, you had the great philosopher Adi Shankara literally walking hundreds of miles to this exact island just to find his guru in a riverbank cave. Fast forward to today, and that ancient tradition is completely alive and well, with priests performing daily puja at the Mamaleshwar Jyotirlinga. The reverence never stopped, it just transitioned seamlessly into the modern day. Section 3. History, Rulers, and Ruins, the Turbulent Eras. Now, this island wasn't just some quiet, isolated spot for meditation. Historically, it has been a fiercely contested prize. The timeline of this site is basically a massive cycle of destruction and rebirth. It starts way back in the ancient era with King Mandhata's worship, which eventually led to these magnificent 10th and 12th century structures, like the Siddhanhof Temple. Then came the medieval era, which brought massive destruction by invading forces. The place was wrecked, but it endured. It survived until the 18th century, when it was gloriously restored by the Marathas. Specifically, Maharani Ahilyabai Holkar stepped in and commissioned the incredible multi-storied temple structures we see standing today. Section 4. The Holy Parikrama Path, Walking the Sacred Trail. Knowing all that turbulent history, let's look at how visitors actually physically interact with this geography today. The traditional circumambulation route, the Parikrama Path, is no small stroll. It spans a full 7 kilometers. It hugs the natural contours of the island, offering this really intense physical and spiritual journey right around the Mandhata mountain, walking you right past literal centuries of architectural marvels. And along that 7-kilometer trek, you are going to hit some unbelievable monuments. Right at the river confluence, there's the Rin Mukteshwar Temple. Then you have the Gauri Somnath Temple, which is completely star-shaped and houses a massive 6-foot black stone lingam. You'll also walk past the Siddhanath Temple. This is an absolute architectural masterpiece supported by 18 massive columns, each 14 feet tall, and originally it featured this intricate frieze of 50 stone elephants. The path is literally paved with the remnants of ancient civilizations. The whole island also operates on this incredibly strict daily rhythm. It runs like clockwork. The day kicks off way before dawn with the Mangal Arti at 4:30 a.m. It cycles through various offerings and viewing periods, and finally shuts down late at night with the Cheyenne Darshan around 10 p.m. It's a continuous, highly structured cycle of reverence that dictates the entire flow of life on the island.
Section 5. Miracles and Unsolved Mysteries. The Unexplained. Okay, so alongside the history and the daily schedules, Omkareshwar is home to some deeply rooted legends and phenomena that, well, they just defy explanation.
We are talking about historical lore detailing unseen protectors. Documents literally claim that attacking forces faced some bizarre, terrifying obstacles here. Aurangzeb's invading troops were reportedly repelled by sudden, massive storms and an inexplicable sense of dread. And it wasn't just them. In the 19th century, British explorers who tried to map out the underground tunnels reportedly turned back after making it just a single kilometer. They claimed they were completely overwhelmed by an unseen presence they simply couldn't handle. But it isn't just ancient ghost stories. We have highly documented anomalies from recent decades. Get this. In 1984, there was a severe drought. The surrounding land was completely parched, yet water inexplicably kept dripping from the walls of the inner sanctum. Then, in 2008, massive floodwaters completely submerged the surrounding town and the Ghats, but the water magically stopped right at the main door. It left the inner sanctum totally untouched. And just recently, in 2021, a visitor recorded this completely unexplained ring of light just hovering above the lingam with zero visible source of reflection.
And the mysteries just keep piling up. There are widespread reports of a damru, a small, traditional drum, echoing out from inside the sealed sanctum on Mahashivratri. The kicker? There are absolutely no instruments in there. Outside, on the eastern side of the complex, there is a unique Rudraksha tree that drops seeds perfectly shaped like miniature lingams. It's a total botanical anomaly that has researchers completely baffled. The closer you look at this island, the more mysterious it gets. Section 6. Visiting and Filming Rules. Practical Guidelines. Now, if all these mysteries and architectural wonders have you wanting to pack a bag and visit, there are some very strict logistical rules you need to be aware of, run by the Archaeological Survey of India. There is a huge difference in access depending on what gear you bring. Basic photography for everyday tourists and academics, that's completely free, but absolutely no tripods, no selfie sticks, and no flash allowed. However, if you're trying to film commercially, it is a whole different ballgame. You're looking at a non-refundable fee of 50,000 rupees per day, plus a 10,000 rupees security deposit, and you need to get clearance at least 15 days in advance.
And these rules aren't just red tape, they're strictly enforced for a very good reason. The structural integrity of these ancient pillars, texts, and statues is incredibly delicate. They have to protect them against the massive, heavy traffic of daily devotees and tourists. So, no touching or moving any antiquities. And if you are filming, the museum in charge literally has to be standing right there to make sure artificial lights don't damage any susceptible materials. It is a really delicate balancing act between allowing the public in and preserving fragile history.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with what is arguably the ultimate unsolved mystery of Omkareshwar. Deep underground, beneath the active temples, there is an ancient realm. It is completely sealed shut with heavy iron bars and cement. Now, locals and ancient texts claim that this room holds an unfathomable energy source. Some say it's the original ancient lingam, others say it's a powerful, energetic center that ordinary humans literally cannot withstand. Whatever it is, it remains sealed to this very day. So we really have to ask, what is actually hiding behind that door? Is it just ancient masonry, or is it something completely beyond our current understanding? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the history around you.